Hi everyone. The purpose of this short video is to introduce you to the first 20 days of technology lesson plans. Maybe this is the first time you're hearing of these plans, or maybe you're a little bit familiar, but this video will provide a quick overview. So let's jump right in. What are the first 20 days lesson plans? These are intended to be um, a turnkey resource to you to introduce tech routines, expectations, and foundational knowledge to help prepare your students to maximize their school devices to the fullest. And so when I say turnkey, I mean that there is a full lesson plan written out. There might be a slide deck included with that, some digital activities. Sometimes there's a video or a student handout, and overall, it should be really minimal prep. But the goal of these lessons is to provide students with just a basic set of skills across all content areas. So, really, they can use their school devices, and mainly we're talking about iPads, efficiently, and really maximize the potential. Okay, so we have four different lesson plans. One's for K2, for 3-5, 6-8, and then 9-12. And you can teach all of them in sequential order. Some of the lessons do build upon each other, so you will need that prior lesson. But you can also pick and choose just what you think your students need best, or you can expand or condense the lessons as necessary. We're calling them the first 20 days, meaning that really these lessons set the foundation for the very beginning of the school year. However, it's not necessary that the first exact 20 days these are taught. You can kind of pick and choose how you want to teach them throughout the beginning of the year, the first few weeks of school. So where can I access these lesson plans? We have them located on our OPS IMS SharePoint. It's fairly easy to get to. You can scan the QR code that I have here provided for you. You can also just log in on whatever web browser you use, head to the waffle, as we say. So anytime you're logged into your Microsoft Office account, or Microsoft 365 account. That waffle always lives in the top left corner. And from there, you can go to SharePoint, search for OPS IMS, and then from there, you will go to training materials on our site. And then you'll see there, I just clicked the first 20 days. So I talked through that a little bit slowly. Then the directions on the screen are provided. So go ahead and rewind just ever so slightly if you need to watch a tutorial of that again. But that's where those lesson plans live. And you can see we've got, again, those 4 grade level bands, a lesson plan, just one PDF for K2, 3-5, 6-8, 9-12, and that's actually built out in just a PowerPoint form slide deck, those high school lesson plans. So I want to quickly just highlight what is available to you on these lesson plans for each grade level band. You can see on this screen, I have shared with you just a screen recording of me scrolling through the lesson plans just for a quick visual for you. But essentially what these are is just really short bite-sized lessons for each day. And on here for our youngest learners, we have things like learning how to use the camera, just logging into Teams, using a QR code, really basic stuff that we know students are going to need to do at those primary levels. Later in the lessons, we have using Seesaw, which we know is a district resource we all have available to us. Grades 3 through 5th, it is a little bit more advanced, and we get into some accessibility features such as customizing Control Center, using assistive touch, and continuing to use screenshots and markup and annotating and some of those tools that are available on our iPads. I also want to highlight that in the elementary lessons, we have these digital habits lessons embedded, and maybe you are familiar with these. These were launched at the beginning of the 2024-2025 school year, and these go in partnership with the iPad sleeves that went to all K3 students. And so for our K3 educators, we have these really basic digital habits lessons that are uh, additionally teaching these really basic ways to keep devices and ourselves safe when using technology. So when we learn things like holding the device with two hands, charging the device regularly, keeping food and drink away, really basic stuff. Digital citizenship activities, lessons. Again, these are all turnkey. The goal here being, if we're going to use these iPads in a way to maximize learning, we have to have some foundational expectations, routines, procedures for using them appropriately, right? And so that's the goal of these lesson plans. Those are embedded into the first 20 days, and you'll see on the day to day, it's those first 7 days for K1, 2, and then in third grade, it is the first 5 days, I believe. And so, elementary teachers, if you're a fourth or fifth grade teacher, don't worry, you can kind of just continue to teach the other lessons that are built in to the first 20 days. Or if you feel like these aren't necessary or relevant, you could absolutely teach them to some of your students as well. Next, in sixth through eighth grade, we're advancing some of the skills students are developing, building on some of the stuff they learned in elementary school, but at a deeper dive. So now we're getting into some things like OneDrive and understanding and differentiating the difference between what's the Files app on our iPad and then OneDrive, which is that Microsoft cloud storage space. Using a split screen with notes, spoken content, using some of the other tools available on the iPad, such as the Measure app, the Calendar app. So we're just continuing to build on the foundational skills, knowing that by middle school, you can do a little bit more, right? And then lastly, in high school, we have things like troubleshooting, using email. Still, charging is a needed reminder, even at the high school level, how to update that iPad so that students can continue to do routine maintenance to their device to make sure that it is maximized. When can I teach these lessons? The goal here is, we know that instructional time is tight. However, these lessons are important, and a lot of this is stuff we've been doing over the years anyways. If I think about our youngest learners, we've taught our students how to use a Clever badge and how to scan that, right, to sign into our applications. Where did we fit it into the instructional day then? We found the time to do it. All these lessons are doing now is providing a little bit more structure and guidance for teachers that may need that. We're still kind of leaving the autonomy up to you to decide when can I fit it into the day. Time, it sounds like, is a little bit more flexible during morning meetings, intervention, but just kind of naturally fit that in when you're already using those devices. And in secondary, advisement would be a great time. Or if there's a standalone technology class, such as computer applications, for example, those would be the places where it would fit in. Lastly, we know that these lessons are not perfect. We want to ultimately make sure that they are effective and helpful for you. So please share that feedback. You don't have to remember this link or hold on to this QR code now, but at the end of each first 20 days lesson plans, this same QR code and link is provided for you to share that feedback with us. We want to continue to revise these and make them better. So we welcome anything, both positive and critical feedback you have. That's it. Thank you for watching, and hopefully the first 20 days of technology lessons are helpful to you and your students.